Happening now, EMS calls continue to rise. We hear from first responders in Jamestown. And a new town supervisor officially takes office in Ellicott after the outgoing leader resigned last month. Plus, Jamestown police continue efforts to crack down on illegal drugs and guns.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The latest local news is coming up. But first, let's get a check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by. And Dakota, the threat of flooding still persisting today, although I know we haven't seen too much yet.
Yes, so the flood watch that we have across all of the southern tier will continue until 7 o'clock tonight. And really the main flooding risk is obviously due to high water level on the area creeks and streams, because we had the rainfall that we had yesterday along with some of the snowpack melts. So that has obviously helped to swollen some more of the creeks. But so far we have just a few light snow showers. They're not really showing up on the latest loop here because the Buffalo radar went down for maintenance this morning. But we do have a few light snow showers across the southern tier, but they won't amount to much through the afternoon. But this is where we're ending the day, 20 to 25. Our highs were in the 50s, and that was early this morning. And we will see at least a few more snow showers, and it stays windy with wind gusts around 40 miles an hour. But we are keeping our eyes towards the end of the week as another storm system arrives. We'll tell you what we know with that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin.
All right, Dakota, we'll see you back in just a bit. The number of medical calls continues to rise, highlighting the need for first responders in the city of Jamestown. Our Bronson Rasmussen has more.
Like many in the field, the Jamestown Fire Department saw a significant increase in service over the past year, according to Fire Chief Matthew Kuhn.
We responded to a total of 7,775 calls for service, which is another record for us. We had a 10% increase in call volume above where we were in 2020.
The total number of fires that the department fought did not change much, with around 100 fires reported last year. The department was slated to hire 4 additional firefighters. However, the union agreement between the mayor's office and department's union was struck down by local lawmakers. The reason, council members say, goes back to budgetary issues.
I am all for public safety and the firefighters getting a contract they deserve, but it has to be fiscally responsible for the city. We can't do something that's not going to work out down the road. We have to look long term here.
Nevertheless, crews are busy. However, Chief Kuhn doesn't want that to stop anyone from seeking help in event of an emergency.
Call 911 for that. That not only enables us to respond quickly, using the 911 system will allow the 911 dispatchers to pinpoint the exact location of where the call is originating.
To help prevent future incidents, Chief Kuhn suggests checking your smoke alarms and make sure they are properly working.
Please ensure that you have a working smoke detector. I can never stress that enough. As a chief officer, we've responded to many fires that don't have working smoke detectors.
Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. Moving forward, the chief tells us he believes that the trend will increase and the call rate will continue to rise. A 39-year-old Jamestown woman has pled guilty in connection with a federal drug trafficking case. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Buffalo says that Holly Berninger entered the plea yesterday. She was arrested last September on a warrant for allegedly failing to appear in court. During the arrest, police say they discovered a white powdery substance and $450 in her clothes. Additionally, they say that substance tested positive for heroin and methamphetamine. Following an additional investigation, it's alleged that she sold heroin and fentanyl in the Jamestown area from 2020 to 2021. And police in Jamestown continue to crack down on illegal drugs and guns. Those with the Jamestown Metro Drug Task Force, DEA, and Southern Tier Regional Drug Task Force executed a search warrant at 204 Hazard Street Tuesday morning. 4 adults and 2 children were located inside the home, along with fentanyl, cash scales, packaging material, and ammunition. Additionally, police say they recovered 2 shotguns, one of which had a serial number defaced, and a pistol that was later found to be stolen out of Pennsylvania. Detectives say no charges were issued at this time. However, their investigation remains ongoing and charges are expected in the future. Well, the mask mandate for those visiting the Village of Fredonia's Town Hall will end next month. Village trustees voted unanimously to lift the masking requirement indoors on Tuesday, March 1st. They cite declining COVID-19 numbers in the county as the primary reason behind the policy change. Last week, New York lifted their indoor masking requirement. However, the state still recommended masking in government office buildings like town halls. Masking requirements remain for all healthcare facilities in the Empire State, like hospitals and doctors' offices. As of Wednesday, masking requirements do remain for schools too. However, the push to roll back that order continues. A new manager of airports for Chautauqua County has been appointed this week. Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell announced the appointment of Shannon Barhart on Tuesday. She replaces the former director, Ron Almeter, who started working in that role immediately. She previously served as the aviation planning project manager at Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley, where she assisted airports with obtaining funding for executing projects to better their facilities. Prior to that, she served as the planning manager for the City of Cleveland, which oversees the planning and noise sections at the Cleveland Hopkins and Burke Lakefront airports in Cleveland, Ohio. As WNY News Now continues this half hour, the latest push to enhance cybersecurity here in the Empire State. And later, a new law that will allow some farmers grow pot right here in Western New York. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
Now is the time to make your real estate move. Call us to list your home in Cattaraugus County. Choose the #1 real estate team in Ellicottville. Call Team Pritchard, 716-575-SELL. The market is hot. Call 716-575-SELL today.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A new town supervisor officially took office yesterday after the town of Ellicott's longtime leader resigned this month amid allegations against him. Patrick McLaughlin submitted his written resignation on February 3rd after the 72-year-old Celeron resident was accused of exposing himself to children. New York State Police Captain Eric Balin tells us that the alleged crimes happened on more than one occasion. McLaughlin is charged with 1 count of public lewdness, 1 count of public lewdness in the first degree, and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. No other details in the case were released. He's scheduled to appear in court at a later date. Now, a special election will take place this fall, with Ward 2 Councilman Janet Bowman serving in the supervisor role and Rob White appointed to fill her shoes during last night's meeting. And improvements to cybersecurity defense are underway here in New York State. Our Julia Gress reports on the push by Governor Kathy Hochul.
On Tuesday, Governor Kathy Hochul formed a Joint Security Operations Center to oversee cybersecurity. The governor admitted that the state's institutions, government, and infrastructure are all vulnerable, and preventative measures need to be taken to assure the safety of the state.
We truly live in a digital world. You think about all your transactions, how you access money, how you pay your bills, how you make purchases and medical records, even our power grids, NYPA, our transportation systems, the MTA. They're all vulnerable to cyber attack.
Given tensions mounting worldwide, most prominently between Russia and Ukraine, the governor believes it is best if the state has an independent plan and resources to protect themselves in case of an attack.
I thought it was serious enough that I convened members of my cabinet on Sunday, asking all of them to come together and tell me what steps they've been taken and where there may be any shortcomings in our statewide operations as well as our critical infrastructure.
To thwart attacks, the governor announced that the first in the nation's statewide Joint Security Operations Center, which will allow experts to combine resources and share data. The operation, according to the governor, will be a $62 million investment. Currently, cyber attacks cost the nation $5 to $10 billion annually, with 85 serious attacks just last year. Hochul explained that local governments could not afford a cybersecurity operation of this magnitude and promised to make the resources and knowledge available to these localities.
And that's why I'm putting together a plan for $30 million to help our localities buy this at a subsidized price and get the technological know-how that they need to defend themselves.
The state is looking to hire 70 experts for this operation who will secure the state and protect the citizens within it. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. The governor encourages all New Yorkers to increase their own cybersecurity, too, by creating strong, unique passwords, as well as staying vigilant in what messages and links you choose to open. Well, New York is paving the way for hemp farmers to get a head start on growing marijuana for legal sales that are expected to begin next year. It's part of new legislation that lets hemp cultivators apply for 2-year licenses to grow the forthcoming legal recreation market for pot. Like hemp, it's a type of cannabis plant. Licenses can start planting marijuana this spring. For the state, it's a way to start gearing up supply and showing progress towards launching what's expected to be one of the United States' biggest legal marijuana markets. While New York legalized recreational use of marijuana for adults nearly a year ago, officials are still working on regulations for growing and selling it. The legislation includes environmental standards and requires licenses to provide training for people of color, women, disabled veterans, and other state-termed socially equity applications. And the Biden administration has once again put a pause on the new federal oil and gas leases. This decision follows after a judge says the administration cannot use a metric that is aimed at estimating the social cost of carbon emissions. And this is not the first time. Biden is keeping climate change in mind as his campaign promises too, promising to help move the U.S. towards a more clean energy practice. But our local Congressman Tom Reed is calling the latest pause a foolish decision.
You're seeing gas prices go up every day. You see home heating bills each month going through the roof. And now you have the instability in the Ukraine with Russia that is adding to the price inflation impact that we're seeing. This is hurting real Americans. And to see this pandering to the hard left environmentalist it is just blatantly wrong. And it is just so short-sighted. And it's all motivated by politics.
Now, the so-called social cost of carbon is the metric they're using, and it's designed to see the potential economic threats from greenhouse gas emissions and compare that to the economic benefits of things like drilling oil. But a handful of Republican-led states sued the government, saying that these calculations are artificially increase the cost estimates of oil and gas drilling. Former President Barack Obama used this metric as well, estimating that the damage from natural disasters like wildfires, floods, rising sea levels was $51,000 for every ton of carbon dioxide generated by burning fossil fuels. Former President Trump lowered that number significantly to around $7 less per ton. Now, once President Biden took office, he raised that number right back to $51. It's unclear how much of an economic impact the president's initial pause on the new leases will have, because economists say it takes time to develop and produce oil from those leases. When we return, a full look at our weather forecast. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
This winter, let New York State take your breath away. Come be a part of it. Plan your winter getaway at iloveny.com.
Remember when you were a kid, huddled around the television waiting for your school to close? Well, we don't get snow days. When winter weather hits, count on the First Defense Weather Team for a look into the future where the snow is headed next. Live radar showing you the scope of the storm, and real-time reports from the field. So when it matters most, stay with First Defense Weather.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's high was 53, but you probably did not notice that. That was way early in the morning, and the official low this morning was 30. Now, to make you depressed, here's where we're at. 26 as of noon hour. We're down from that 53-degree high, and we're going to stay, and that temperature is going to continue to go down, and we still have a healthy west wind at 15, so yeah, the wind chill down into the teens for today. Now, as we mentioned during first weather, we still do have that flood watch that is in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. And here's the reason why. This is the water level at the Allegheny River in Salamanca. There's a flow gauge there. The current water level is 11.3 feet. That is at action flood stage, just a little bit before the minor flood stage. It is forecast to crest at 11 points at just a little under 12 feet of water level. And then it will start to recede as we go into the weekend. Now, the Chattacoin faring a little bit better, but the Chattacoin still running a bit high. 3.1 feet is the current water level there, and a flood stage on the Chattacoin's actually at 4 feet, not 3.5, but that's the action flood stage. The Chattacoin officially floods at 4 feet, so at least it'll stay below flood stage for this. That big blue line is that cold front that moved on through. Notice the wind direction shift mainly to the north and west, bringing in that colder air. But what we're watching mainly for the weekend or for the end of the week is going to be a big storm system, and this is it right here. This storm system is going to ride across the Ohio River Valley and pass close to our region by the time we go into Friday. And that's what we have to keep an eye on. So Future Scan does paint you a couple of isolated snow showers through the afternoon, but they're going to be overall light. I don't expect much in the way of overall accumulation. The snow goes to bed tonight, leading to partly to mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow is really going to be the pick day. Although it's still going to be a little bit chilly, it will stay dry. So that's your pick day. But notice Thursday night, the snow comes on in ahead of that storm system. But watch what else comes in here. Notice that pink right there. That's a possibility of sleet and maybe some freezing rain. And all of this still needs fine tuning for Friday. Understand, nothing is set in stone yet. But the one thing that sleet and freezing rain could do is hold down snow totals, which would be good. But the bad side is it could cause slick roadways. So here's preliminary snowfall totals going all the way through Saturday. And again, you can see as you work up further to the north, that's where the most snow will be, because there likely will be some mixing going on across northwestern Pennsylvania and the southern tier. Check back tomorrow. We'll have more details on that along with a better idea of snow totals. This is where we're ending the day, likely mid-20s. We're free falling, Tom Petty. Now the next 7 days coming up hard by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So 31, a calm day tomorrow. There's that freezing rain and sleet mix. Changes over to all snow later in the day. Snow showers continue into Saturday and Sunday. And it looks like we end the month pretty cold. But it does look like we rebound a little bit as we start March, Justin.
All right, Dakota, thank you. It's in the final stages of the federal trial for 3 former Minneapolis police officers charged with violating George Floyd's civil rights. In closing arguments, prosecutors told the jury Thomas Lane, J. Alexander Kug, and Tao were all aware that unreasonable force was being used by former officer Derek Chauvin against Floyd, and that each of them knew what prosecutors could help Floyd, but chose not to act. The defense painted a different picture yesterday, arguing their clients were inexperienced or had inconsistent training and did not intend to harm Floyd. All 3 ex-officers have pleaded not guilty. They're facing fines and up to life in prison if convicted. An alternative social media platform backed by former President Trump went live this week. It's called Truth Social, and it became available for download on Apple's App Store, but access to that service appears limited for now. The service is a Twitter-like application and is owned by Trump Media and Technology Group. Trump started the media company after leaving the White House. Users who downloaded the app Monday morning were greeted by a message inviting them to register for the service. The sign-up process, however, ended in a wait list. Trump is seeking to get back onto social media after a year of being suspended by mainstream platforms including Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Posts on the platform are referred to as truths. Amplifications of a post are known as retruths. The head of the social media said last week that Truth Social expects to be fully operational by the end of March. And the beginning of a Russian invasion. That's what President Biden called Putin's latest play, moving Russian troops into the eastern region of Ukraine. Cole Higgins with all the latest developments for us.
Who in the Lord's name does Putin think gives him the right to declare new so-called countries on territory that belong to his neighbors?
President Vladimir Putin formally recognizing 2 Russian-backed regions in Ukraine as independent states Monday, ordering his troops there in an alleged peacekeeping mission. The U.S. is disputing those claims.
This is a flagrant violation of international law and demands a firm response from the international community.
The latest escalation and, in President Biden's words, invasion of Ukraine, prompting the U.S. to announce major economic sanctions against Moscow.
We've cut off Russia's government from Western financing. It can no longer raise money from the West and cannot trade in its new debt on our markets or European markets either.
In a joint press conference with the Ukrainian foreign minister, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. and its allies are unified in their response.
We'll continue to escalate our sanctions if Russia escalates its aggression toward Ukraine.
Blinken says he canceled a meeting with Russia's foreign minister that was scheduled for Thursday to further diplomatic talks.
Now that we see the invasion is beginning and Russia has made clear its wholesale rejection of diplomacy, it does not make sense to go forward with that meeting at this time.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now. It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, You'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Well, Tuesday marked the day of twos, thanks to the date 2/22/22. Many couples hoped that meant some good luck and decided to get married with all those. Leah Marschke with the story.
The walk, the rings, the kiss. Introducing Mr. and Mrs. Vargas.
We both said it at the same exact time. We both had the date in mind.
2/22/22. It's a palindrome, meaning it's the same date backwards and forwards. The couple says it felt lucky.
We actually started dating on 11/11/11, so this was perfect, 2/22/22.
Plus, they'll never forget their anniversary.
If I forget it, I'm in trouble.
The newlyweds were originally told they'd only be allowed to bring 6 people because of the pandemic. That changed, so their parents, siblings, grandmother, nieces and nephews all joined to watch the ceremony.
It's a fun day for all of us.
Hempstead Town Clerk Kate Murray has married more than 2,000 couples in the past 20 years or so. Her words of wisdom to new husbands and wives?
Communication, keep listening to each other, and don't go to bed mad.
My parents always tell me that too. Murray married 22 couples on the day of twos.
It's like a day like no other.
We saw the twos and, we just decided that we wanted a special day for ourselves.
These middle school sweethearts have been dating 12 years. You look so beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Each bride and groom even got 2-shaped cookies on their way out. The Harpershad family had one more surprise.
Oh my God!
A car decorated for the occasion. In Hempstead, Long Island, Leah Mishkin, CBS 2 News.
All right, Leah, it's such a beautiful story, and good luck to all those couples who tied the knot there, and I mean, imagine it probably crossed the world yesterday. So that's pretty awesome.
Did they have 222 guests?
It doesn't look like it, but they imagine if you could have planned that. Really take advantage.
Started
of the
dating
day.
on 11/11/11.
I wish our
got
mics
married on 2/2/22.
I wish our mics were up during that because Dakota, I got to watch this before the show when loading it in, but Dakota didn't, and it was a laugh out loud. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You really can't.
Only in America, folks. Only in America.
Nevertheless, let us know what you think about this and more on social media at WNY News Now. We thank you for joining us here on 223. Hopefully your 222 was exciting.
You know what's better than 22? 23.
23, yeah.
Sorry. SpongeBob reference.
Dakota's here.
It was supposed to be a SpongeBob reference. You know what's funnier than, what was it, 24, 25 or whatever it was?
I have
the
no
boating
idea.
school episode where Patrick went to a boating school with SpongeBob.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that famous thing. I tried to turn it into that, but I'm dying out here, Justin. Close the show.
I know. I don't know. We can't close the show yet. We have to go to your final weather forecast.
Oh, okay. Then take the graphics. Just to get me out of here.
We'll get you from comedy to weather, which is your main call.
Yeah, let's just get me out of here. 12 to 19 tonight, much colder, but it will stay dry, though, Justin.
Oh, that's good news too, Dakota. Thank you. And hopefully not too much in the way of flooding. I know that that was a big concern, flooded basements, all that kind of stuff. So folks, make sure you keep your eye on that. But luckily, the rain is coming to an end. That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We remind you, when you're on the go, you can easily stay in the know by downloading our free mobile app in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store, and of course checking us out on your streaming services on Roku. Simply search channel 716. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. Have a great day.